Well, there's some surprising things that are happening in the world of Bible prophecy and also in global intelligence. First, some of the headlines are that Bahrain's parliament has called on the state to declare war on Iran. And I don't know how serious that'll turn out to be, but that is something that's taking place. As we know, the peace talks in Syria are unraveling, and it doesn't look like that they're going to be heading anywhere near where they should be in the near future. But something is happening between Russia and the United States, or NATO, that could very well be a major problem leading into the tribulation period. In fact, in one headline it says that a Polish minister has said that Russia is preparing an aggressive move against NATO. But something has been going on the last few days that I feel could very well turn into a major war is what's going on between the U.S. and Russia at this time. As we know, Russia has been showing some aggressive moves against the U.S. by flying jets over U.S. warships, and now the United States has retaliated by sailing one of their warships near the Russian border. And this is what the article says. It says Russia accused the United States on Wednesday of intimidation by sailing a U.S. naval destroyer close to Russia's border in the Baltics and warned that the Russian military would respond with all necessary measures to any future incidents. Speaking after a meeting between NATO envoys and Russia, their first in almost 2 years, Moscow's ambassador to NATO said the April 11th maritime incident showed there could be no improvement in ties until the United States-led alliance withdrew from Russia's borders. This is about attempts to exercise military pressure on Russia, the Russian envoy said. It said, "We will take all necessary measures, precautions to compensate for these attempts to use military force," he told reporters. But of course, the NATO diplomat, he indicated that the U.S. ship was in international waters. And no, I don't think that there'll be a world war at this time between Russia and the United States, but I think it's something that's going to be leading up to a world war that will happen in the first 2 through 4 seals of the tribulation period. You know, the Bible says during that time that 1/4 of the world's population would be destroyed by a world war. And you know, at some point in time, I believe that what has been abated at this time will be like something that has been put in the mind of a leader, whether it be U.S. or whether it be Russian or whoever it may be, and that evil thought will eventually lead to a world war. So what intelligence briefings and reports may not tell, at some point in time, world war for that matter, will be initiated by somebody, whether it be Russia, whether it be the United States, or some other third party. But as I've said, I don't know that we're in any danger of that taking place before the rapture of the church and before the tribulation period starts. But at some point in time, all of these factors will come together, and I think that there will be a spark that will ignite this major war. Now, here's something that I really believe is prophetic, and it's being reported by Virtual Jerusalem. And it says, U.S. and Germany say Golan is not part of Israel. And this coming right after Netanyahu got up and said that Israel will never allow the Golan Heights to go back to anyone else but Israel. And I kind of think this speaks to where in the direction that U.S. is headed when it comes to the veto over the resolution that the Palestinian state is trying to put in the UN. And the article says the United States and Germany both criticized Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's declaration that the Golan Heights will forever remain part of Israeli sovereignty. The U.S. State Department spokesman John Kirby said Monday that the Obama administration does not consider the Golan Heights to be part of Israel, despite Netanyahu's assertion at a cabinet meeting there Sunday, Haaretz reported. The U.S. position on the issue is unchanged, Kirby said at a daily media briefing at the State Department in Washington. This position was maintained by both Democratic and Republican administrations. Those territories are not part of Israel, and the status of those territories should be determined through negotiations. And you know, you might say that, well, this has been the position of all administrations down through, including Republican and Democratic administrations. But I don't think that in the past that a U.S. administration would have come out so strongly against the declaration that Mr. Netanyahu has made. And I could be wrong, but I think this tells us that come November, December, just before Mr. Obama leaves office, that he very well may not veto this resolution that Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas is passing around at the UN. And if in fact this French resolution does take fire, they may very well back that as well. But we'll have to wait and see what really happens in the future, because we've certainly seen these things backfire in the past. But I will certainly keep you up to date to see exactly what the direction is. And, as I said, I believe that we're heading to a possible face-off between the Obama administration and the Netanyahu administration. There very, very well may be a payback for Mr. Obama against Mr. Netanyahu. But we'll have to wait and see on that as well. But if you don't know the Lord, today is the day of salvation. As we know, 150,000 people die every single day. The vast majority of the Bible says will end up in a burning hell. Don't let that happen to you. Come to the Lord today. Tomorrow you may die. And if you do, where will you spend eternity? And you Christians, you have friends that you know are going to end up in the tribulation period. They're going to miss the rapture. And if they do, the world is going to tell them how they should react and also how they need to act when the Antichrist comes on the scene. They'll tell them just to go ahead and worship the Antichrist, and they'll put as much pressure on them as possible. And the Bible's pretty clear that the vast majority of people will probably end up worshiping the Antichrist and taking his mark. Don't let that happen to your lost loved ones. Get them a copy of my free Tribulation Period Survival Guide. I have two versions. One is a digital version, and it is free that you can download, and you can have it at your fingertips whenever you want it. The second one is a paperback version, and you can receive both of them by going down to the description below this video and clicking on the appropriate link. But whichever one you choose to get, do it very quickly, because I know that our time is running out. Well, this is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.